Hi everybody, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder Clones 3-pack. So before we take a look at any of the other Shredder clones, let's go ahead and take a look at the large Shredder clone and its accessories. So first up, this Shredder clone comes with 2 fisted hands and 2 open hands. I do wish we'd get a set for each of the hands. I wish we got 4 fisted hands and 4 of the open hands, but we don't. Up next, it has these more relaxed hands and these accessory holding hands. But it doesn't come with any accessories, so it is weird we get these open accessory holding hands. And finally, you get accessories to make the cut-off arm for this figure. So you get this little nub piece that you attach, you just pop the gauntlet off, and you can see the worms coming out of the end of the stump there. You have some nice black paint to it, that looks really good. And then here you have the severed hand with the worms coming out of it. That looks so cool, and it's sculpted in a way that when you lay it down, it lays flat. That looks incredible. I think this is such an awesome accessory for NECA to include. That looks awesome. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So NECA did a very awesome job on this head sculpt. It looks very nice. The helmet is sculpted really nicely, and that shadowing that's painted on there looks incredible. The only bad thing is the eyes kind of missed their mark. You can see right here where it went above where the sculpted lines for the eyes are. This one's pretty centered, but yeah, this one's up. You can see this eye is up and this one's where it should be. So it is a bit unfortunate that that happened. But other than that, I think this head sculpt looks incredible. But the shading over top of this whole figure just looks incredible. Having this in hand, I love the collars on it too. The collars really pop. I really like the regular versions better, but now that I have this 3-pack in hand, I'm loving the collars on this. You get some nice sculpt to the wrappings right here, and that black paint looks really good. I do wish they would have painted the pegs right here, because they stand out really bad. And on the right thigh, you get this weird white scuff mark. So that's really weird. But yeah, I do wish they would have painted some black over top of these pegs right here because they really stand out. Especially right here, you can see how that black shading looks really good. And then you get those collared pegs that really stand out. But other than that, I think this figure looks really good and that shading looks incredible. I have to say, I'm just really blown away by this 3-pack. It looks really good. So now let's go ahead and go over the large Shredder clone's articulation. So he has a ball jointed head that can look up all the way. Can look down all the way. You do want to be careful because the prongs on this helmet, they feel really brittle. So they feel like if you hit them the wrong way, they might break off. The head can move side to side. Shoulders, they can move all the way out on all 4 arms. Swivel with the bicep, they can move side to side. Double jointed elbows that can only bend in that far. Swivel with the gauntlet. Swivel with the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. But for some reason on the left side, whenever I try to bend this, then it just pops off, which it is made to pop off because of that accessory, but it also does it down here too. So I don't know if that's an issue on all of them or not, but yeah, the hands on this side just want to pop off very easily. He has a swivel waist that can move side to side, ball jointed hips that can only move out that far. They can just about do a complete split. He can kick forward very slightly, back all the way, very nice thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can only bend back that far, and a swivel ankle that can move down all the way, up all the way, and an ankle rocker. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the mini Shredder clone. So here we have the mini Shredder clone, and the sculpt on it is fantastic as well. The spikes are actually pretty sharp on this. The shading looks incredible just like it did on the large Shredder clone. It looks very nice. I do wish there was a stand for it though. Because of its huge head and tiny body, it just falls over constantly. You can see that most of the weight is here in the head, and it's kind of in like a semi-crouch position. So yeah, I do wish it would have came with a stand. Honestly, I didn't think this would be as articulated as it is. I honestly don't think it needed the articulation, but I do think it's pretty cool that NECA included that. It has a ball-jointed head that can move up and down very slightly. Oh, side to side very slightly. It has ball-jointed shoulders that barely move up and down. It sounds terrible. I feel like I'm going to scuff the paint up. Moves out just a little bit. But yeah, the articulation is just very stiff right there. Has ball jointed hips that can really just move out like that. Swivel at the hip that can barely move. And ankles that can move down all the way and up all the way. So while I don't think it was necessary that this minifigure had articulation, NECA did give us that. So it does look nice, but yeah, I don't really think I'm going to be moving it because the joints on this figure feel very brittle. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the final figure from this pack, the Claw Shredder. So taking a look at the final figure in this pack, the Claw Shredder, I think this is my favorite figure from this pack, mainly because red is my favorite color, and the red and the black shadowing on this figure just really pop. I think it looks really great. I originally missed out on the regular version of this figure because it was a Loot Crate exclusive, but I'm kind of glad I did now because I like this red version so much more. The paint and colors on this one just stand out a lot more than that regular one. He has some very nice sculpt. All the sculpted wrinkles there on his suit look very nice. If you look, you actually get some texturing on the claws. I think it's very awesome how you get that texturing. So on top of that paint detail, you get some really cool texturing. The claws actually have articulation right here. That really surprised me. I thought it was just one solid piece, but you do actually get articulation here, and that looks really cool. Just like with the large Shredder clone, I do wish they would have painted these pegs right here because it stands out. If you have the figure like that, it really stands out, those red pegs. It doesn't stand out so much down here on the legs because there's more red than anything. You can see a little bit of red right here, so that doesn't really bother me. But yeah, they're pretty noticeable up here on the arms. And you get some cool sculpt and paint detail to the wrappings on this one's legs. And here's the back of the figure if you want to see what that looks like. One thing I'm noticing is on the loincloth right here, it's a very glossy black compared to the matte black that's on this one. So yeah, that's kind of odd, because as you can see, most of it is a matte black finish. But yeah, this black is very, very glossy. So now let's go ahead and go over this one's articulation. So it has a ball jointed head and neck articulation that can help it look up all the way, and it can't look down. There is a swivel joint down here in this neck piece, but it doesn't want to move, and I don't want to stress that. Just like with the other Shredder clones, these feel really brittle. As you can see, it's moving just me barely putting pressure on it, so definitely be careful of that. Its head can move side to side. It has ball jointed shoulders that can move out that far. Swivel the bicep that can move side to side. Double jointed elbows that can actually bend in all the way. You get articulation at the claw right here that can move up and down. You get a swivel waist, ball jointed hips that can actually do a complete split. Can kick forward just about all the way. If it wasn't for the loincloth right here, it would kick forward all the way. Can kick back all the way. Swivel at the thigh. Double jointed knees that can move back all the way. And ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and a nice ankle rocker. So the star of this set for me personally is definitely the Claw Shredder. Even though it doesn't have any accessories, it definitely makes up for that in sculpt and paint detail, and even articulation. I think this is the best articulated figure out of this set. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite figure of the set. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here they are next to the Battle Damaged Shredder figure. Here they are next to Leonardo and Raphael. And finally, here they are next to Michelangelo and Donatello. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this setup because it is fantastic, especially if you're like me and missed out on the regular versions of all of these figures. I think these color versions look amazing, and I actually like them better than the regular ones now that I have them in hand. It also helps that these were $29.99 on Best Buy the other night. I checked right before this video and they are back up to full price now, but definitely keep an eye on them because the price might go back down. That's actually what I was waiting on. I was waiting on the price on these to go down just a little bit, and I think $29.99 for all three of these figures was really great. So if this is a set that you're wanting, definitely keep an eye out on BestBuy.com for these because these might go back down in price again. Even if they don't though, I think I would still recommend picking this up because it is a really awesome looking set. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.